A missile claim, an assassination insinuation, and a social media storm. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has announced that it struck the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during what it called the 10th wave of attacks. It went further, suggesting Netanyahu's fate was uncertain. Within hours, confusion swept online platforms, with some users questioning his whereabouts. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed that during its 10th wave of missile strikes, it targeted the office of the Israeli Prime Minister. In a statement released by IRGC Public Relations, the group said the office of the criminal Israeli PM, Netanyahu, and the location of the Israeli Air Force commander were struck in targeted and surprise attacks using Khaybar Shikan ballistic missiles. The IRGC added that the 10th wave focused on Israel's government complex and that further details would be announced later. Most dramatically, the statement assessed that Netanyahu's fate was uncertain. That line triggered immediate speculation online. Within minutes of the IRGC claim, social media platforms were flooded with posts asking, "Where is Netanyahu?" Some users alleged that Israel had sent its president to Beit Shemesh instead of allowing Netanyahu's planned visit, fueling speculation of a possible security threat. But the narrative gained traction because it followed the IRGC's public suggestion of a possible strike on the Prime Minister's office. In high-intensity conflicts, information gaps are quickly filled by viral claims. Amid the storm, Prime Minister Netanyahu appeared publicly on Monday. He visited a site hit by an Iranian missile a day earlier, a strike that killed 9 people. Standing at the location, Netanyahu drew a sharp contrast between Israel and Tehran.
This is the third day of the Operation Roaring Lion, the operation the Israeli army and the state of Israel set out to, with our great friends, the United States of America and President Trump, to thwart existential threats to Israel and great threats to America and the entire world. When I stand here in a place that was bombarded by the terrorists in Tehran against innocent civilians, you see the difference. The tyrants of Tehran target civilians. We target the tyrants of Tehran to protect civilians. I've said for many years that they threaten not only Israel and not only America. They chant death to Israel, death to America. That's their ultimate target. But I said that they would also target those in between, that they would target Europe. They did. And if this regime, this terrorist regime of the kind we've never seen in the world, if they get nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them, ballistic missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, they will threaten all of humanity. So we set out to protect ourselves, but in so doing, we protect many others. And I want to say special thanks to our great friend and a great leader of the world, Donald Trump, for joining us in this crucial effort to save the world.
Dramatic footage circulating on social media appeared to show dozens of fiery fragments raining down over Israel during a fresh Iranian ballistic missile barrage. The glowing streaks, nearly 24 visible in some videos, raised fears that cluster submunitions had been deployed mid-air. While it has not been confirmed whether the falling objects were cluster bomblets or debris from intercepted missiles, the Israeli military has previously acknowledged that Iran has fired ballistic missiles equipped with cluster warheads. According to the Israel Defense Forces, such a missile's warhead splits open while descending at an altitude of roughly 7 kilometers, scattering around 20 smaller explosive submunitions across a radius of nearly 8 kilometers. Each bomblet carries approximately 2.5 kilograms of explosives. Though individually less powerful than a conventional warhead, the system is designed to saturate a wide area, maximizing impact over densely populated zones. Similar munitions were reportedly used during the June 2025 conflict between the two countries. The IDF said there was no change to civilian safety instructions despite the possibility that cluster weapons had been launched again. However, the military's international spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani, accused Iran of deliberately targeting populated civilian areas to cause widespread casualties. He described such actions as a war crime and stated that Israel would continue operating in accordance with international law to defend its citizens.
Behind me you can see the crater of the missile, of the Iranian missile that hit at the middle of the city only a short time ago. In this site behind me, a few dozens of civilians injured. Once again, the Iranian regime, exactly as it's aimed to his civilians, do the same thing here in the middle of Israel, in the middle of Israeli population, innocent people that live here peacefully.
What are cluster munitions? Cluster munitions remain among the most controversial weapons in modern warfare. Designed to open mid-air and disperse multiple smaller bomblets rather than detonate in a single blast, they are inherently wide-ranging in effect. The submunitions are not guided and fall freely before exploding on impact. A significant concern is that many fail to detonate immediately, remaining on the ground as unexploded ordnance, effectively functioning like hidden landmines long after the initial strike. Why were cluster munitions banned? Because of their indiscriminate nature and the long-term risk posed to civilians, cluster munitions are widely banned under the Convention on Cluster Munitions. However, neither Iran nor Israel is a signatory to the treaty. As tensions escalate and missile exchanges intensify, the reported use or potential use of such weapons has added another dangerous dimension to an already volatile conflict, heightening fears for civilian safety across the region.